Every contribution, every tweet brings this city and the nation a step closer to providing a well-rounded, quality education for each and every child.
What's better than tripping is falling.
We're at the Harold Washington Center in Chicago, and Chance the Rapper is about to have a press conference regarding some money that he is donating to Chicago Public High Schools.
Public schools, not high schools.
Oh, I'm sorry, Chicago Public Schools. Thank you, Chandler. And so we were having brunch at a restaurant across the street, Peaches, and when we arrived, we saw a line of people outside. While we were having our brunch, Chandler discovered Chance was across the street, which I said, Chance might be there.
Yeah.
And so Chandler left while we were paying. She went and got in line, and then I started talking to people, and I ran into the principal of the high school where my nonprofit is starting a pilot program this fall. And he was able to get us in with his school. So we are very excited. We even have Chandler's grandmother here.
Say hi, Grandma.
Hello. And so the trio, we are here. I call us the trio. The trio is here to see Chance, and we're super excited.
This young man, he's a philanthropist, a humanitarian, an activist, a world leader, a thought provoker. Coming to the stage, Mr. Chance the Rapper.
I've been home for about a month now since I got off tour, and there are two things I just can't get off my mind. The first one is distressing. Twice, just in the month since I've been back home from tour, I've had someone tell me that they were gonna shoot me. This is, it was obviously just talk. Both were small altercations, but honestly, immediately in both situations, I could tell at the first point of contact that these two young people had a chip on their shoulder. They felt underappreciated or undervalued or cheated. Because here in Chicago, in the summers when it's when the city's the most beautiful and people are supposed to be outside and enjoying themselves, there's still this undercurrent of something ominous. My daughter Kinsley, she's learning so fast. She's starting to speak, starting to form sentences, stealing my phone to try and make FaceTimes when I'm not looking. She's amazing, and her talents, her brilliance, her gifts continue to inspire me. So I'm starting to think, how can I encourage her? How can I engage her? How can I give her everything that the city has to offer and that this world has to offer? These are the two most pressing things on my mind. The thought of finally sending my daughter to school and the unease of the city that she's entering into. And that's why I'm so happy that Social Works exists. We created Social Works a little over a year ago for a simple reason. We wanted to give young people a path for expression, a path for engagement, and obviously a path for education. We do this by providing leadership opportunities for young people grounded in places that mean something to them. Their communities, or their schools, or their churches. And all of our programming reflects that. It's an opportunity for kids with an appreciation for where they grew up. At the Bud Billiken, and the concert that we hosted afterwards, the free concert, we worked with sponsors to give away over 30,000 backpacks to help students get ready for their first day of school. Yes. principals are finding out in the middle of the school year that they don't have enough funding to pay for their teachers. Just 2 weeks ago, CPS announced that they were laying off 1,000, that they had to lay off 1,000 employees. I'm pretty sure 350 of them teachers, and the teachers that still have their jobs are reaching into their pockets to pay for school supplies for their students. And neighborhood schools, specifically on the south and west sides, are closing at a disproportionate rate, hurting Black and Latino students the most. Only. But despite the lack of investment, CPS students continue to beat national averages in reading and math. Thanks to our brilliant students and their work with their amazing parents and amazing principals and amazing teachers. And it's in that same spirit of collaboration and resilience that led us to create the New Chance Fund. It was that level of commitment against the odds that inspired a viral reaction amongst countless others to contribute and take a stand to demand that we prioritize education. And the response was ridiculous. People around the nation, especially in the city of Chicago, stepped up to help however they could. We saw posters, we saw pens, we saw dinners, we saw GoFundMes, we saw tweets, and who can forget those delicious cookies? Am I not killing this PowerPoint right now? Yeah. Every contribution, every tweet brings this city and the nation a step closer to providing a well-rounded, quality education for each and every child. Because despite the headlines and the stories that we hear about schools failing kids in Chicago and Atlanta and Baltimore and Philadelphia, despite all these stories in so many cities throughout the nation, we've also seen beacons of hope. In Atlanta, the city began a 3-year literacy initiative that will equip 1,500 Atlanta public schools teachers to deliver high-quality instruction to all elementary school students, where more than 1/3 of their students read below grade level. In Baltimore, the spirit of activism amongst the community led elected officials to pass a bill that prevented drastic cuts in the city's public schools legislation. And in Philly, we saw principals unite to obtain a new contract that will provide pay raises, bonuses, and restore them as 12-month employees. Quality education for public students is the most important investment a community can make. All of us at Social Works are excited to take our biggest, boldest step yet and announce our first ever grants from the New Chance Fund. Today we're giving a new chance to kids in 20 more schools across our city. Each school will receive $100,000 over the next 3 years. With budgeting and staffing guidance provided by CPS and Ingenuity. We're not just cutting checks. Social Work sat down with these amazing 20 principals and curated a menu of options so each could realize their own independent vision to demonstrate the positive impact that teaching the arts has on students. At Westcott Elementary on March 6th, I posed a question of who cares? Who cares? Who cares about the kids? AEG, Live Nation, Ticketmaster, the Chicago Bulls, and hundreds of thousands of my fans showed that they care. And thanks to all of them, and thanks to just those people, all of this is possible. But the impact of the New Chance Fund goes beyond this school year, goes beyond these 20 schools. We've already begun securing funding to do the same thing next year. And we will make so that we can reach every school in Chicago. But we have to care. We have to care. We have to ask representatives to actually listen to their constituents and draft legislation that makes sustainable funding for schools. We have to ask for companies, the ones that are all in our neighborhood selling that shit. I was so close to I made it through so long. But we have to ask these companies that we spend money on every day to contribute financially and invest in education in our communities, recognizing the vital link between education and economic growth. And I'm asking my fans, my supporters, and any concerned citizens to spread this message and their stories by tweeting #SupportCPS, calling for equitable funding in education. I need your voices, I need your help, I need your bodies, I need your minds, and obviously, I need your help. We have a lot planned for all of our initiatives, not just in education and the Warmest Winter initiative this year, and our next Parade to the Polls. So we need bodies, we need volunteers, so anybody out there watching, if you want to get involved, make sure you check out all the volunteer opportunities at Social Works, and you can always donate at socialworksshy.org. I can't wait for the school year to begin, and to begin working another year with my homies at Social Works, inspiring creativity, building dreams, and letting you be you. Thank you.